everyone, and happy bank holiday. I'm here again, another bank holiday, and I'm here again. There we go, what a surprise. No, I hope you're all having a lovely bank holiday, and I hope the weather is as lovely for you as it is here. Not that we can see it in our little studio, but it is absolutely, as they say, cracking the flags out there, and lovely, lovely day. So I hope it is with you. If I say stay in, keep in the shade and enjoy a bit of Crafters TV, because we've got an amazing day for you. Now, I want to mention a couple of things for you. As it is, in the UK, it's our spring bank holiday, but obviously in the US, it's Memorial Day bank holiday. So we have got a Memorial Day bank holiday sale on all weekend. Now that is going to end on midnight on Monday night. So you've got 3 days to get that. Now, what we've done is we've put together some special bundles. It's all bundle based, but every bundle has 70% off. It's not up to 70%, it is 70% off. So that is absolutely amazing. So if you want to see that, there you go. Go to the website. Oh, look at that little sneak peek of what might be happening on Tuesday. But go down there. There you go. Bank holiday extravaganza. Wow, help if I put my teeth in. And you can see 70% off selected bundles. There's some amazing there. Oh, that looks like Country Lane. There we go. What's going? There we go. There's all sorts in there. Some lovely ones, some kindly thoughts, some nitwits, some other more nitwits, 3D scene builders. Oh, gnomes. They're all there, aren't they? Yeah, lots and lots there. And every one of those has 70% off. So pop those in and fill your boots and make sure you get those. Now, as you see, during the week, all week, we have a pick of the day, but for the weekend, we do slightly different. So we have our weekend wonder, and here is our weekend wonder. Now, in here, you've got nearly £58 worth of, £59 worth of products, so nearly £60 worth of products, or nearly $80 worth in there. So this is absolutely fantastic, but you're going to get this all today for £20, £25 or $35. But look at that platinum price down. Oh, that side. There we go. I'll get it right in a minute. There you go. £20 or $28. But I like this one. I'm even more at the bottom. Double points. So even though you're paying less than half price for it, you're nearly getting your full value of points, which is brilliant. So you're going to get lots and lots in there. We're going to have a look at that in detail in a minute. Now, I'm not here on my own. We'll have a look at who's already joined us in a minute. But first, I think I want to say good morning and hello and welcome to the lovely Jan. It's Jan and I here all day today. So good morning, Jan.
Good morning. Yes, it's nice to be back. I've had a little while off, combination of sort of downtime and holiday and a big birthday. Yeah, so I'm quite enjoying these concessionary rates though on all my adventures that I keep going on. We went somewhere the other day and not only did I get a discount on the entry fee, I got a free meal as well.
Oh, that was all right.
I could cope with this. I might have to do this big birthday again. Yes, so loving life at the moment. We've been all over in this sunshine. It's been nice to have some time off.
I did see lots of pictures on social media. Yes. You look to have been treated well.
Yes.
They treated you well.
Yes, I had a lovely, it was almost like a birthday week, to be honest. It sort of stretched out with different things that I was doing over the course of the week. It almost like lasted a whole week. And then yes, just sort of spending time with my littlies, you know, those little, them little bear cubs, honestly, they're my world. And I can't say any more than that. So it's been nice to actually have a few days in the sun.
Perfect.
But yeah, always glad to be back. And we've got so much lined up for you today. I can't wait to get started.
We have. So this morning, we're going to start with our Play Your Crafts Right. Then we're going to look, if I got the right order, then we're doing first look on the second show, aren't we?
Yep.
That's right. Oh, these are really lovely. I'm quite excited about these because Jan's going to give you the first look on these that are launching on the 2nd. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek of them down at Hobby Maker as well later on in the week. So yeah, it's going to be all go. And then we've got a craft vault. So some amazing deals on there. But it's not just just Jan and I. We've got Lily and Charlotte in the gallery, so good morning to them. They're saying hello. We've got Jake on the floor as well. And in a minute, we will have Liam here as well, because Liam and I are going to be doing other bits between the shows as well. It's a busy morning this morning. So anyway, we've also got Lynn Harvey here, says, hi, Corrine, Jan, the CTV team. Oh, should have said it's Rachel on the socials. I'm sorry, I didn't forget about you, Rachel. I was reading your name, I just forgot to say it. She said, the wonderful social superstar and everyone, I hope you're all well. I think everybody in this building is well. Yeah, I'm not going to comment about elsewhere, but we are all fighting fit in here, and that's how we want to stay. Sarah Brown is saying good, sending crafty hugs from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening, Sarah.
Yeah.
I think she's on the night time. Lynn Blackledge, go live Granny is in her garden in the Isle of Wight. That's the right place to be.
Yep.
Daniel Pearce Holland, good morning and happy Crafter Day from Yorkshire. Hope you're enjoying the weather. We are. It's lovely. I had all the windows open in the house this morning. I had the breeze blowing through. I had the back door open. It was lovely. Anne Clark says, good morning from a very sunny Bournemouth. Hope you're all having a lovely weekend. Oh, can you imagine that south coast today?
Yeah.
The south coast. Oh, but not jealous. 100% there, Anne. Zoe Carver says, morning everyone from a sunny West Sussex. Georgianne Curley says, hi Corrine and Jan from Clearwater, Florida. I bet it's nice there. And Lois says, good morning everyone from Ohio. So good morning to you. So should we have a quick look at this mystery bag? So in this mystery bag, you have got 9 items and they're all about sentiments. I can see stamps in here, I can see dies in here, but it's not just sentiments. I'm seeing the accessories that go with it. The one just down here, you've got all the florals and the elements in there. Look at this, you've got chalkboard stamps, you've got this gorgeous lovely happy birthday in there. That's a 2-layer one from the Say It With Flowers. You've got the sentiments. Look at this, the masquerade ball. Not only is there sentiments, but there's all those lovely backgrounds, and this one is really good. I know it's Christmas, but gosh, we're going to be doing Christmas soon. I love this one because you've got the die that does the, if I got that right, the die that does the Christmas, and then all the stamps that do all of the other bits as well. So it's a lovely bundle, and as I said, it should be £60 or $82, more or less, but your platinum price today, £20, $28, on double points on that one as well. So, I mean, that seems to me a bit like a bank holiday weekend wonder as well. We've rolled the two in together to make it a bit more special. And Jan's going to show us something a bit special with this one then, Jan.
Well, yeah, it was a case of, have a little delve and see which one. But funnily enough, the masquerade ball one appealed to me, Corrine, purely because it's got sentiments in it and it's got those little extra bits that we can sort of build up like collage work, which I like doing. So, yeah, there's a bit of something for everybody. The first thing that sprang to mind when I saw this was anybody that runs craft classes. This is a great kind of purchase so that you've got a variety of sentiments that you could use alongside, you know, if you're teaching classes and things like that. Also, it's a good one to share. You know, if you're buying something like this and you've got crafty friends out there, there's a bit of something for everybody. So what I thought is I've sort of done some of the prep already, but I've got a piece left to show you where we're actually going to use some of the background elements. So that lovely Harlequin stamp here, the text stamp, the little feather, along with an actual sentiment from it to decorate my card. So what we're actually going to do is I've not done one of these for ages, we're going to do a TP card. So I've got my panels at the ready, and when I come to construct, I'll show you, if you're not familiar with the design, I'll just talk through basically how I arrived at my panel pieces for my card. But this is actually going to be one of the pieces that will probably be about like this, at this angle, when it's on the card. So what I've got is I've got my stamping mat and a little stamping platform today, which is unusual. You normally see me with my magnetic platform, but for what I want to do today, I've got quite a bit of moving about. So it's easier to have my stamp on here and move this about rather than keep repositioning it on the magnetic platform. So it's almost like horses for courses. You know, what's going to be your sort of best way of achieving what you're after.
So what inks have you used on there, Jan, please?
What inks on here? These are actually pigment inks.
Yeah.
Our opaque pigment inks on here. I've got straw bale, I've got a tiny little bit of fuchsia and a little bit of orange.
And you've still been able to do the faux bleach technique with the pigment inks?
Absolutely, yeah.
Perfect.
So just the longer you leave it, the better you'll get the splats on it. So if you can actually leave that water to do its job and move it around, because there's still a water-based ink, it will still play with the ink and you get that sort of speckled bit. So that was my background. And then I've brought the stamps out there. If I just, let me just grab this one and you'll be able to see them better rather than over the thingy. You can see there we've got an A6 set there, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which would have been much easier to just look on the packet when it said 11 pieces,
It's
wouldn't
a
it?
number
But
on the top corner.
just checking, yeah. So 11 different, and that's just one set. When you look at the 9 that are available over that mystery bag, there is a lot in there to have a play with. So what I'm actually going to do then is take, first of all, the little text stamp, okay? And I'm going to pop this onto my stamping platform. I've just got my little one here. I like the fact that this got the grid on so I can line everything up. And then over the top of here, I'm actually going to stamp with quick dry ink. So first of all, I'm going to use brown, and I'm just going to ink this up really lightly because the quick dry inks are very spongy. So if you press too hard, I end up with it all over. And then I just want sort of elements on here. So I'm going to have it roughly at the angle it will be on the card, and just sort of do little bits of stamping. I just want a suggestion rather than doing the whole thing. And as I say, it's almost like collage work, this. I do this a lot. Those of you that have seen my art journal, I do this kind of thing a lot as a background in the art journal. Which I will bring in again at some point when there's a product that suits. Now, these don't normally transfer, but just to be sure, I've been a bit heavy-handed there with my ink, so I'm just going to take that little bit out. And we've got a couple of bits there with the text stamp. So give that one a good wipe. If you've got your stamp cleaner and platform, perfect to just give it a quick scrub.
It's lovely to see Masquerade Ball in completely different colours. We're used to seeing the Masquerade Ball because of the paper pad in the what was it,
those
purples,
purples,
oranges.
greens. To be honest, the matte layer that I've used is actually from that collection, so it's bringing it all together. Now then, I'm going to swap out my ink now for the fuchsia. Okay, so I'm still on quick dry, and I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap card because I want to stamp this off. The fuchsia is quite a bright colour, and I don't want it to overpower my background. So I'm not going to pop this one on the block. I'm just going to use it as is, and I want to ink up a little bit of it, like so. And then I'm going to stamp it off onto some scrap card just to get rid of some of the ink, and then bring it back so that I'm still getting the design here, but not that really bright colour. So again, ink it up. It's what we call second generation stamping. So again, just that little bit. I just want that suggestion in the background that there's something going on. Okay, little bit at the bottom there. That's that one. And again, stick it down, give it a good wipe. That's as much as mine get done normally. If I've got my stamp cleaner out, I'm okay, but more often than not, it's just a quick wipe and I'm good. Yeah. And then I've got the little tiny feather that's in that collection as well, and I'm going to pop that one back onto the platform now. And I'm going to bring in some yellow. So I've sort of gone loosely with the colours that I'd got in the background. Now this one's very pale. There's not a lot of depth of colour, but again, I just want that hint. This is actually a background. I don't need it to be jumping out off the page. Now I can see that here. I think you can just see it on the screen, yeah. So as I say, it's all these layers blending into one in the background here, so that they're actually creating almost like your own paper kind of thing. And you can do that with any of your stamps. So I've got that together. And then what we're going to do is we're going to matte and layer this to bring in that card. So move those out of the way. Let's get rid of all the inks. And then I'll show you how I arrived at my card blank. So in order to make one of these designs, you need to decide on, it needs to be a square to start off with. I always work with 5 3/4 inch square because that's the sort of it's the most optimum use of our A4 here in the UK. So I can get 2 pieces out of one piece of A4. So I've actually got 5 3/4 inches square on there. And what I've done is I've actually scored a line from the top right-hand corner to the bottom left. And I folded and burnished that line to give me my triangle piece. And if you look there now, you can see where that one's going to fit. So, choice of matte and layer. As I say, I actually went, because it was one of the masquerade stamps, I have still got a few pieces of my cardstock pack, so I went and had a look. And the orange is actually from there, but absolutely anything. Looks nice with a black background as well, just so that that ink layer stands out. So however you want to do this, and again, if you don't have the facility for the stamping, you know, you could just use a piece of pattern paper here. All right, so we're just going to layer that one on top, and I've used my Collal all-purpose there just to get that in place, and it adds strength and rigidity there. So we've got that available on our website for you. Anybody that hasn't tried it yet, according to our Leanne, in her own words, it's the best glue in the world, and it is. I must admit, I use it for lots and lots of things, and once it's stuck, it ain't going anywhere.
I love the extra strength it gives
It
to you.
almost provides like another thickness of cardstock, doesn't it, when it sets? It sets like rubber, like a cement layer in between, and it does give it some sort of rigidity. And because this one I want to stand up when it's finished, perfect. It's what I've stuck my other matte layers down. This is just a little bit of washi tape out of my my stash, and you'll see why I've put that there when I put all the card together.
I was just wondering what that was.
Yeah, so what I did at home was pretty much recreate this 2 more times. So I've actually got 3 of them now.
Oh,
you can see there. All right, and that's what you need in order to do the TP card. So they're all the same size. You can see there that I've got all 3 of them the same size, and they're all scored from top right across to the bottom left to create that triangle. And then all we're going to do is we're going to tilt them. So if I bring one out of the way from here, I'm just going to turn this one and line it up with the score line on the first one here.
And now I see
you
why
can
you
see
put your washi
now
tape
that
on.
this creates just a little decorative element. You can actually create another little matte layer to go here if you wish, but it's just adding that little bit of something in there. So what I'm going to do is just sort of think, right, it's coming down to about here. So I'm going to put my thumb there, and I'm literally going to pop glue. And again, I'm sticking with my Collal. If you wish to use any kind of tape, or your red line tape, anything like that, our tape pens will work as well. You know, however you want to do this, whatever your preferred glue is. But I like to do this because then I can just slide it into place. And you want to focus on the point matching up here, and then it wants going right up to the score line, not over it, just up for it, because you want this to still be able to bend, and this one runs smoothly across this edge. So just give that a second to tack down, and then we're going to do exactly the same again for the next one. So if you bring this one to the center as your focal point, I'm going to take this one and twist and then line it up again on here. So again, I'm just going to pop my thumb roughly where I don't need glue, because obviously it's only on that section that's going to stick to the other side. All right, just make sure it's not going to seep out of the corners there. And then lie it down. Make sure you've got those points, and then that just up to the score line, and you can check that by folding, and they just want to run parallel with each other. Make sure that everything's nice and square when it folds flat, and then just give it a little bit of a press into place. The beauty of the Collal as well is that if you do get any seep out, it just rubs away, as long as you've not got inky fingers. Otherwise you end up with blue rubber away. And I know this because I've done it so many times myself.
I'm going to say voice of experience there, Jan.
Yeah. So you can see there where we've got the 2 squares, the one rotated, which gives you the shape that we want. And then these 2 are going to overlap to give us that lovely little sort of TP shape. Okay? So I've actually got one of our little Velcro dots here, and I'm just going to pop that as a closure so that we can actually undo it and it fall flat. So I just need to get that edge piece off here. There we go. And then out come the tweezers. All right, so we're actually going to pop it here and here. So I actually want to put my little dot, and I've just popped myself a mark there when I was prepping. Okay, and then once we're happy with that, we can take the sticky off this side.
Lots of love coming in on the socials. Read them in a bit for this card, Jan.
If you
People are
don't have the Velcro dots, you could use little magnets. And if you don't have magnets, I have sometimes used just a little glue dot. They're easy enough to peel apart because it's only a small area that's sticky. If you don't have anything like this, you can just pop a little glue dot in there. And if if your recipient's not sure, pop them a little note in as to how to pop it together. But I'm going to let that set, and then we've got that just to open and fold flat. So I'm going to bring round the front one, and I've just stamped from that set again. So we've got at the top here, Dancing in the Dark, and I just thought that was a really nice one. So I've just popped that on some little matte layers, and I'm going to keep everything straight on here. And I'm just, because this is an embellishment and it's going onto the top of my ink, I'm going to swap to my tacky glue. Little bit of, it's really good for sticking things to anything other than just cardstock. So again, I just need to make sure which was my front one. Where did I put my sticky bit there? Here we go. And I'm going to pop this one on the front. And then because I had the box out, I had to get the box out that had my masquerade things in. And if you do have that collection, you'll know that in there is a lovely die set with the feathers in. Now, if you don't have this one, I know there were feathers in our Peacock collection, there were feathers in Bohemian, and I think there were feathers in, there was another one I was just going to say. Could be the Angel. Lily's just saying, was it the Angel collection? Yeah, but a lot of them have had feathers in.
Crafters Inspiration 2 magazine?
Yes, yeah. So all I've done is die cut those in similar colours to what I've used, added a little embellishment, and then all I'm going to do with these is pop these just on either side, a little bit of that tacky glue again. So I'm going to pop one.
Quite handy having the solid one because it gives you an easy bit to put glue on.
It's a bit of a background and it's something to add the glue to, you're quite right. And then again, I'm going to bring it round the other way and pop this just as and you can embellishment with whatever I've always said embellishments are very personal, either to the person that's making or the person that's receiving. And I think if you change the colour scheme on this, if you imagine this done maybe in navy and craft card, you could go completely male with it, so you could have embellishments on there that were more sort of male related. But you can see on the front there, you can see where that washi tape came in now, just as a bit of extra embellishment. And then when we turn, we've got the little feathers on each side. And then if I bring you that, it does stand up, so it actually displays stood up. And then obviously we've just got our little Velcro dot, so we can separate this at the back.
Oh, you've got good Velcro.
And it folds virtually flat to enable you to pop it in an envelope. All right, Perfect. Your envelope would need to be, let's just have a little look. I think the big A5 envelope would fit it in there. Yeah. So again, pop it back together, give it a little stick together, and that's just one of those many stamp sets in that collection.
That is absolutely good. When we say we're giving you a sentiment bundle, you might think, oh, well, it's just accessories. But look at that. Jan has made that project really focusing on using those sentiments. And that is absolutely gorgeous. Now, if you want that today, £25 or $35. Better than half price sale, but your platinum price right down here, £20, $28, but even better, you're going to get your double points as well. Now, lots of people here, so we said that. So Pauline Hassel's here, good morning on this lovely day in Cheshire. Melanie D says, good morning all, happy belated birthday, Jan. There you go, lots of birthday love coming in. Oh, Sarah Brown says, yes, it's after 8 p.m. now in Melbourne, Australia, and going into winter, the heating is on.
Oh, bless.
No, we're just
like the opposite way round, aren't they, to us?
Now, Kirsty D says, her brother is moving into a new house in a few weeks and just had a phone call from her niece, who is 8, asking if I will make a craft room for her and what does she need to put in it.
Oh,
well,
bless.
Kirsty, dream, Just point it towards Crafters Companion website and you're away. You're away. Denise says, love to see Jan create. Michelle Harris says, love Jan's make. Suzanne Dawn, loving the colours. Now, Hannah Gosling-Smith, who I believe is on my craft along tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? I've lost what day it is. I think it's tomorrow. Says, I was just thinking this morning, I didn't know how to make a TP card. I think Jan read my mind.
There you go. You see? It was,
yeah.
those waves coming across.
Lynn Blackley says, Jan, love this card and must try this style. What got word? Peacock. It just says in my socials, peacock. I'm like, why? Why peacock? Somebody's saying there's a peacock feather. That's Rachel saying the peacock feather as well. We've got that one.
Yes.
Yes, so that's another feather. So Lynn says, got to have a nice feather or two. And Suzanne Dawn says, such a pretty card, Jan.
Thank you.
Now, if you've been watching all week, we've had some amazing launches this week. And on Tuesday, I was in launching these. These are our shaped concept card bases. Now, you're going to get your envelopes for this. If I remember right, you're going to get 144 cards, 144 envelopes across 6 styles of card shapes. So you're going to get 12 stencils as well. Now, if you've ever thought to yourself, how do I make all my card bases? This is how you do them. So if you want to make a stepped rocker, just like that, you can see you've got the little steps in there. If you want to do that, then we're giving you this one. So you're going to get 24, is that right? 24 of the card bases. Oh, there we go, you can see them all there. And then you're getting the 2 stencils that are going to help you to do all the mats and layers, so you can see onto there. So that's your stepped rocker. Then you've got your double stepper. There we go, you see that one, so you can see the mats and layers on there. And I love this one because when you look at the stencil, you can see we're also giving you an oval that's going to be an extra one on there. And that oval fits across loads. I've got a demo tomorrow for Second Chance Sunday where I'm going to use that. I think it's on the... I'm going to use that on the step rocker. I think that's one, I can't remember, I did it a few days ago. Then we have this one, which is the trifold shutter. I love this one, really lovely shape. You haven't got to worry about your scorings and everything like that. And again, you're going to get all the mats and layers that you might need, they're there. Then you've got now this one. Now you might be able to work out how to do the card, you might, but getting the angles right on all of those mats and layers would be impossible. Now, the one thing you can't possibly see at home, you can up there, look, can you see? We're giving you, on the card bases, all your cut lines are in there, as well as all of your score lines. They are literally just fold and pop together. And the stencil, so this stencil, all of those, because you need all the different angles, they're all sorted for you. You've got your double diamond, your fan folds, that goes like that, and get that the right way, that goes just there. So you get your double diamond card. Again, a difficult one to get all the mats and layers right, even if you can. Again, all the score lines are built into that. And then this one, I think this one might be my favourite. This is your step card. I love that. It just looks like steps. But how difficult would it be to do these mats and layers? I think those would be nigh on impossible to do, to get just right. But you've got the stencils to do all of that. So that is absolutely perfect. Now, if you want those today, now your platinum price for those, look at that, platinum price down there, £40 or $56. I think I worked it out the other day, 25p per card and envelope for 144 card bases and envelopes. Phenomenal value. You're never going to have to think about all of your card and shapes. So if you are buying something like the Sentiments bundle that you've just seen on here, our Weekend Wonder, then you're going to have loads and loads of card bases to use it on. Lots and lots of your collections are going to work wonderfully with that. Now, the other collection I want to show you as well is the showstopper for our outline florals. These are beautiful. Do you know what? The minute I saw these, I fell in love with these. I'm going to show you them on the board so that you can actually see them. So you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think it is. There you go, that looks right. So you're going to get your roses. Aren't these gorgeous? I can see your paper piecing, you're putting them onto acetate and colouring them through. You're also going to get your peonies and your lilies. They're absolutely, our Lily says best one, of course, with that name. You've got your cosmos and your cherry blossom and hellebores. You're getting all of these. You're getting your echinacea and also your anemones. Now, that would be a brilliant deal, but you're not only are you going to get those, you're going to get your acetate, your heat-resistant acetate. You're going to get your tri-blend aquas, 2 sets of those in the gorgeous colours on those. So those, look, you can see all of those colours through there. You're going to get your glue pen. You're going to get your precision tweezers, and you're also going to get your luxury mixed cardstock in pastels. I love this. We use this all the time. I know I use it a lot, and I know our Lily uses it. Is this one that you would turn to?
I am very much pastels, yeah. So you wouldn't believe it today with the colours I've chosen, but more often than not, definitely pastels.
Perfect. Now you're getting all of that today, £99 or $140, but your platinum price down there, look at that, £79.20 or $112. Brilliant value. These are gorgeous, and we'll have a look at some samples after we've played the game or some point during the show today, because I think the samples really bring this to life. Now, we said about these paper pads, that's an easy paper pad. We're now going to play your crafts right, and I have been told it's all about the paper pads. So Lily wishes she was playing. She would probably do all right. Oh, Carol says, hope the game is a lot easier this week, please. I might get some right. Oh, last week, it was a killer last week. It was cocktails. Was it last, or was that 2 weeks ago? Oh, I don't know what it was last week then. Yeah, I don't know what it was last weekend, so I thought, was I not here last? No, I can't. Oh, I don't know. But yes, and Linda says, great deal for this collection. Hannah's also messaged back saying, yes, she's doing the craft along tomorrow. And I've sent her all the dimensions, so Kyrie is going to do it too. Yes, so she's going to be, she's going to have a bit of it ready to go. Okay, so now, remind me, who plays for which? Jan is playing for... Right, Jan's YouTube, I'm Facebook. Oh, we're going to need some new pens soon. That's a bit splayed, is that top? Right, I'm Facebook. So, how this works, we're going to do 5 paper pads now, 5 paper pads a bit later on, and Jan and I have to guess the name of the paper pad or the collection or wherever it's from. Oh. And we will get points for every one we get right. Whoever wins their channel, we're going to pick 5 winners from their channel to win a gift voucher for the or credit for using on our website. So if I win, 5 players from Facebook. If Jan wins, probably 5 players from YouTube. So let's have a look. So first one, guess the paper pad. Ooh.
Oh no.
This is a guess.
Are they recent paper pads? A mix. I'm going to guess that one. It's not one I've actually got, but I'm going to guess it.
I think. Yeah. Bit different, putting it in a frame definitely throws you off, but we've got an idea. My guess is based on the colours and the tone. I might be completely wrong. Have you got an answer?
I have got an answer. Okay. I'm not certain
I'm going Angel.
That's what I've put.
Just because of the colours. There you go.
There is actually, that was my clue there, yes.
Now you see, if we'd have had that bit in, we'd have got it straight away. There we go. We both got that one. Okay. Oh, Christine Mahoney says, paper pads are hard because there are so many. Well, you should get this one, Christine. And Suzanne Dora said there's been a few tricky weeks on Play Your Crafts Right Just Lately.
Oh, now then again.
I know that. It is,
See, some of the recent ones I haven't had because they've been selling out so quickly that you can't get them, so I'm not as familiar with them. That looks like an old paper pad, but I'm sure it's not.
I think it is.
Oh my days.
I can almost see it on my shelf.
Have we got any clues, ladies? No.
No clues. No clues. Apparently, if it's what Lily thinks it is, then there's somebody else guess it. She doesn't even know.
I'm just going to guess.
This isn't it, but I'm going to have to put something down.
Yeah, I've got to.
I am going to go. Yes, as soon as it comes out.
Oh.
I put Country Lane.
No,
I think Lily
put
might be
Secret
right.
Garden, I was guessing.
Secret Garden.
It's
Bell Countryside. As soon as
Countryside.
Lily said it, I knew she'd got it. But she didn't say it till after we'd written our answers down. Apparently it was US state shapes last week. Ooh. Oh, this is...
Done that one.
This
Is it weird?
is...
If it's right. And then you start doubting yourself, don't you? Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, I was really quick with that. And then Lily's saying it's always the ones you think you know. And then I'm like, is it? Is it?
Have you got an answer?
I have, yeah.
I might not have got... I can see a
Straight
pad.
away, but now I'm doubting myself, thinking, is it something else?
Bethlehem.
Yes, so did I. Surely.
Yes,
Yeah.
there we go.
The colour
So
and
what
the
have they done? Have
stars.
they
I
zoomed
love
in on a
that
bit, or are
colour.
they just showing us
It's
different?
definitely easier when you've got the paper pad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh! I know that one. I know that one. Do you know this one, Jan?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, you're looking really puzzled.
Yeah, there's just one of the words. Yeah, I think it's right.
I put colour your world. That's what your word is.
It is, because I put colour my world. Colour your world. Do I not get that one?
I think you do, because you knew which collection
I knew which one it was, and then when I wrote that, that's why I was hesitating. Do I get a point for that one? Oh.
Well, apparently lots of people on socials got it right for Bethlehem. I'm not getting the answers, I'm just getting a few bits through, but no, they're not putting the answers. Was that 4 or was that 5?
That was number 4, wasn't it?
Oh! This paper pad has been mentioned today. It might have been. If my answer is right. You ready, Jan?
Yes, very confident on this one.
Everybody time?
Yep,
Masquerade Ball. Oh, I spelt it wrong. I missed the cue out. There we go. Right.
I only got 4, I think, didn't I?
Yeah, because you didn't get Bell Countryside.
I didn't get the Bell Countryside. Well, neither of us did we? So we're on 4.
4 each.
4 out of 5, yeah.
Rachel's saying, I'm not enabling anyone. I'm Team Switzerland. She's not passing me any comments through. There we go. Right, that wasn't as painful as I feared it might be. There we go. So that's not too bad at all. So, lots of people saying don't do very well on this game. Paper pads are so hard, so lots of different ones. So people getting some of the obvious ones right, but hard with the rest ones.
It's when the flowers come along, it's going to get confusing because there's so many different flowers, aren't there? We're going to be like, oh,
there we go. Right, so we're going to give you 2 minutes to check out whether it's on your sentiments, whether you've bought the gorgeous outlines, whether you've been picking up some of the card bases, or have you been looking at our Memorial Day or Bank Holiday extravaganza sale and getting some 70% off? Check out your baskets, make sure you secure those purchases, because obviously with the sales there won't be massive quantities, and while you do that we'll give you a little VT.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. What are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Get ready to meet the Gemini 2. We have been counting down the days and now it's just around the corner. The Gemini 2 is coming here on the 30th of May and I just can't wait to introduce all of you guys, our wonderful Crafters TV community, to this, our Gemini 2. It's our brand new, improved, smarter, faster and just all-round amazing die cutting embossing machine. Now we've added some innovative and pretty exciting new features and updated functions. With all of that newness, we haven't cut back on anything. The Gemini 2 has all of the power, precision and performance of our entire Gemini family. It will be available to buy on the Crafters Companion website on Tuesday the 30th of May. This will be a day to remember, so make a note to join Leanne and the whole team right here on Crafters TV for the official big launch of our Gemini 2.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Are we in trouble or are we all right?
Yeah.
Should be coming in. Should be coming. What does she do?
Exactly how
she
he looks. This is awesome. This is awesome.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on catch up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
And I watch you every day, and it's just what really gets you through when you're really at rock bottom.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
Well, welcome back. Now, we thought we would show you a few of the items that are really popular from our Craft Vault sale later today. So that's on at 6 p.m. Now, the first thing we have got is your Easy Magnetic. This is your full-size story sheet. Now, this pack has 3 in there, but what you're effectively doing today is you're going to get 3 packs of these, so that's 9 magnetic sheets, and you'll see they're bigger than A4. They're a bit wider than A4. Does it say on here they are? I think they'll be about your 9 by 11. I think is what what this sort of size they're going to be, but they're the full size. So you're effectively buying 2 sets. So you're paying for 6 sheets, and you're going to get 3 sheets for free. And your platinum price today is coming in, look at that, £20.78 or $27. They're coming in at under effectively working out at under £7 for a pack of 8 of these, or about $9 for each pack. So that is an amazing price if you're platinum member. So make sure you get those. So this is the perfect way to store all of your dies. So if you want your magnetic sheets or your dies, whether you're going to stick these on the wall, whether you're going to put them in a folder, it's entirely up to you. But you're going to get so many dies on there. I do store my really most common used ones, my sentiments and my flowers. I've got 2 different folders, one for sentiments, one for flowers. Just the ones that I know I'm going to need every time I'm crafting, so that is perfect for there. Now, the other thing we want to show you, and it's the same deal, so it's pay for 2 and get 1 free. yeah, I've got it upside down, there we go, go that way, is your stamp storage. So these are your acrylic sheets. Again, they're full size, so you can see the same size as your magnetic ones that we've just been looking at. And you've got your tabs here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're getting 4 sheets in here. So you're going to get 12 panels in total. And they are hole punched down the sides, just they've got little bits in there. So you're going to be able to put them in your folders. Now, this is the perfect way to be able to store your stamps. So are you buying the sentiments deal that we've got on today on our Weekend Wonder, and then you're going to be able to get your magnetic sheets and your acrylic sheets and store all of those, because they're going to be ones that you're going to get to all the time. Now again, it's pay for 2 packs and you're going to get 1 pack for free. Look at that platinum price, £7.98 or $11.18. Crazy price, full size, absolutely brilliant value. So yeah, if you're thinking about storage, if you're thinking, yeah, got a weekend, I need to start sorting out all of my storage, then those 2 might be for you. And then the other deal I want to show you, and this is what our Jan's going to do us a demo on, is this gorgeous frames, 3D embossing folders with your nesting dies. These are so clever. So you've got your 3D embossing folders, and Jan will talk to you about your plate combination and everything that you need for that. So you're going to get that real depth, that real dimension in your emboss. And then we have the nesting dies that fit perfectly into whatever shape is in the centre, whether you're going to cut them out or whether you're going to do from mats and layers. So first of all, we've got the decadent diamond. Then we have the stylish square, but look at this, look at the detail. These are absolutely gorgeous. Then you've got your regal rectangle. You can see, and all of these are going to work landscape as well as portrait. And then we're going to give you your cherry Centura pearl. So what you're doing effectively in this deal for £19.18 or $26.31 is you're paying for 2 of your embossing folders and dies and your cherry cardstock, and you are getting your 3rd set of embossing folders and dies for absolutely free. That is a brilliant deal. So if you are thinking it's time to add dimension, it's time to add a little bit of depth to your project, then maybe this is the deal for you. £19.18 or $26.31. So yeah, all 3 embossing folders and your Centura pearl. And Jan, have you got some samples to show us?
I've got a few samples, and then I've chosen one to demo with. Yeah, I love these. I've used these quite a lot. These are one of the sets that stay by my desk now. I've got all my stamps are filed, all my die cuts are filed, all my embossing folders are filed, all in my system.
Oh,
but there are certain ones that stay in the box at the side of my desk, and I must admit this has become one of them. A, the folders are beautiful, and B, those little nesting dies are so handy if you're just wanting to cut a sentiment or something like that. So you've got your rectangular one here, and you can just see where that lovely embossed detail around the edge, we've just highlighted it there with some gilding wax. And then we've used the little nesting dies there to make a shaker element on the front. But like Corrine just said, you know, you can tip them on their side and make them in sort of more of a landscape version rather than portrait. They literally go either way. There's no sort of right way to use them. This one, we've used the little dies to do a cutout, and then we've put the nesting dies in the back there just with the sentiment.
Oh, that looks nice.
And then just echoing that embossing just on a piece of mirror card. I think that's stunning, isn't it? Yeah, Lily's just saying it looks like metal in there with the silver, doesn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. So that's your rectangular one. We've then got the square. So again, same process. You can see this is all inked in the background, and then just mix and match with any sentiments or stamps. That bundle that we had on at the beginning, there would be loads in there that would fit in the centre of these. And just taking it onto a larger card size as well, it can be a focal point excuse me, on that larger size. So, you know, it doesn't have to be the 6x4 design of the embossing folder. Big it up, put something else behind it, even maybe on a scrapbook page with a little photo. You could die cut the photos with your nesting die so that they fit perfectly inside there. And then the last one is the diamond, which is the one that I chose to demo with. So again, you can see, I think that's lovely. A little tiny bit of ink in the background, then the gilding wax, and again using those nesting dies to make the shaker element. But again, when you bring it into that darker colour, same die, but just look how different they are. Same embossing folder, should I say, but just looks so different when you see them side by side. So we're going to use that one. We're going to use the Decadent Diamond to do our demo with, and I chose inks for my base on this one. You can use papers. That mirror card looks stunning just passed through the embossing folder. So what we're going to use is we're going to use a piece of multi-purpose cardstock, and then I've got my Decadent Diamond. So in here you get your 3D folder, so the detail is really nice and pronounced for doing sort of gilding wax and things like that on it. We're going to do something a little bit different with it today. And then you've got your little set of nesting dies, sort of your accent dies that come with it, which are invaluable. You know, if you don't own any nesting dies, these are a great size, like I said, for building up like a sentiment, for to either pop in the middle or on a completely different project. So I'm going to add some colour to my cardstock first, then we're going to pass it through the embossing folder. So I've chosen, as I say, I've gone nice and bright today, which is nice. It must be because the sun's out, I think. I'm normally very pastel, but yeah, I've gone for the bright colours today. So what I'm going to do is just grab my water spritzer, and I'm going to pick, because I've got an area to cover, you can actually take your blending tool and blend all around. But what I tend to do to get some colour on there to start with is actually pop some down. And you can do this either on a glass mat, you can do it on your craft mat. If you don't have either of those things, you can do it on a piece of acetate. But basically, pop a bit of colour down, and then I've just got water in my bottle. So again, I'm just going to spritz it to activate the ink, loosen it up a little bit, and then literally pick some of that ink up to get my card started. Now it is only very pale to start with, but we can build up that colour. This is just basically getting a base on there. Excuse me, for some reason my voice, do you know, whenever I go live, my voice decides to start croaking away. I don't know whether it's trying to tell me something. So yeah, once we've got as much of that up as we can, we'll just clean that off, and then I'm actually going to come in with the ink pad and my applicator. Now again, you can do this with your water reactive. You guys know that the pigment inks are my go-to ones. But again, all I'm going to do now is actually bring that depth of colour up. So it just saves me a job having to make sure that every single bit of card has been caught with the ink by mopping it up first. If you prefer to do this with your applicator, absolutely fine. You can actually go direct to paper with your ink pad as well and take it on that way. So, you know, depending on what kind of effect you're wanting to get. I quite like this motley effect on it that it's created now with dabbing some of it up off the mat. And I'm not too worried about the centre because we're going to pop some of those nesting dies in the centre. So I'm quite happy that it's a little bit lighter.
And you didn't have to dry your card off first?
There wasn't enough water, to be honest, by the time I've finished with this now. And if it is just a slight damp, I say very slight, which I can feel it is, it embosses beautifully.
Yes, that's true.
You get a nice crisp emboss with it. If it's wet, obviously the embossing is going to damage the card, but just damp, you get a really nice crisp finish. So I'm just going to check that I've got the raised side underneath. I'm going to pop my card, which I've cut to the size of the folder, and I want that raised side to push up through here and create my lovely embossed image. So that one's going to go on there like so. And then because it's a 3D folder, we just need to be mindful of those plates. So I need a clear cutting plate at the bottom. I usually put my magnetic shim underneath it just as a support and a shim. And then instead of bringing in my second clear cutting plate, I'm just going to bring in my plastic shim, and that's the lid. Because the embossing folder's thicker, it doesn't need as much depth on your plate sandwich. So this one's going to go through the Gemini. It's going to transfer that beautiful embossing, and then we're going to do a little bit more to it to bring out that embossing. Now that's where your gilding waxes come in. They would look great. But I've actually picked something else today. So I had a little experiment with it, and the one that I've done looks fine. But just to show you, you can see on there, before you do anything else to it, you could stop just there, and you could use your little nesting dies in the centre there. Again, if I show you the back, you can see how deep that embossing, that 3D sculpting is just really exquisite in there.
I love with 3Ds, you get different layers, don't you?
Yeah,
of emboss.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to bring in our shimmer inks this time. And again, I'm going to use them with an applicator. Let them behave just like the ordinary ones do. So these are available on our website as we speak. They weren't for a very long time, but then they came back. And again, all I'm going to do is keep, normally when I'm inking, I ink at an angle, but what I want to do is catch some of this embossing. So I'm going to keep this totally flat now, really gentle, and I'm literally just going to rub over the top. So the applicator is just catching the embossed section.
And it's not going onto the background at all?
If it does, I'm not too worried. You know, it is sort of abstract art. It's not the end of the world, but the idea is to just catch where most of that embossed area is. So you can see, if you just keep it nice and light, which is hard for me because I am very heavy-handed with stuff, particularly inks. I keep dabbing the ink here so that I'm not taking a whole blotch of ink onto my work. I'm literally just being very, very gentle, and you can build it up. So the more you go over it, the more depth you get. Once you've got that first layer down, the more you go over this now, it'll bring out that beautiful depth of colour. Now, I don't know whether we can pick it up on the screen, but I can see that shimmer coming through already.
Can you?
Yeah. And I just think they are such a pretty ink to work with. I don't think it's going to pick it up as much on the camera, but there is an element, of shimmer just on that turquoise ink. Now, if you don't have the shimmer inks, like I said, they are available on the website. If not, you can do this with your ordinary inks. So you may have brought in, you know, if you collected the opaque ones, the Lagoon would probably work nicely on here. If you work with water reactive, again, you can do the same technique. If you like gilding wax, you can use that. So once we've got this at the ready now, all I did at home with this, I think my one at home is much, much brighter. I must have got a bit giddy with the ink because I've just matte and layered it now. You can see. Oh, yes. I spent much more time. I actually picked a lot more ink up off the matte, but you can just see how much depth you can get it in. I actually prefer this one. I do actually prefer this one now because this is very, very deep. I might see if I can get away with sticking this one over the top. I think we can do that, don't you? Yeah, that one is very, very bright. I think I'm going to have a go with my collal there. And again, I tend to go with the collal on the back of the embossed because it sinks into those debossed areas and gives you a really nice bond there with the rest of it. So I reckon, as long as we don't get it spilling out of the side there.
And you've got the details on the bottom of the collal glue. Really good price there today. Just shy of £8 or $16 for 3 bottles there. Yeah, time to stock up on that.
That's it. Nobody would ever know, would they, look?
It wouldn't.
If I hadn't have shown you that one, I could have just stuck it straight on. There we go, look. Yeah, I actually prefer that depth of colour for what I want to do. So that's going to be my sort of focal point on the card. And what I've done is I've got some craft card for this one, and I've just made myself a stepper card here. So I've started off with a piece of 11 and a half inches by 8. So it's just trimmed slightly. And then my scoring, if you're interested in doing this one, is this panel measures 2 inches across the side, and you can have that on either side. And then I've scored at 1 1/4. I've scored at 2 1/2, and then I scored at 7 1/4, and just up to the 2-inch line here. And then this is the centre at 5 3/4. And then all you do from the 1 1/4 to the 7 1/4, I've just slit it with my craft knife. And then from the front, it's a mountain and a valley, and then these 2 are mountains, and it all folds up to give you that nice stepper card. Okay, actually I'm selling fibs. I cut this one down. It did start out at 8 inches, but I cut it down to 7 1/4 because this is only a narrow panel. I do normally have this as I've got a template in my box that I use, and I do normally have this as a 5 3/4 square, but it looked a bit daft with the extra card, so I did chop it down a little bit. And you'll see on the back of here that I've been die cutting some of those nesting dies out because this is going to stick on here. Nobody's going to be any the wiser. So I've made similar panels to go in here and on the front using that same technique. And then I use the nesting dies here to cut a series of panels. So you can see the largest one there I've done in the turquoise. Then I've done the next one in the craft card to match my background base card. So that's going to go on top. And then I've done a little white one, which is the third one. I didn't use the smallest one. I've just used 3 of these. You can see that's the 3rd size down. There are actually 4 sizes altogether, but for what I wanted to do, that was enough for me to finish with. So I'm going to get those stuck down. And again, I'm going to stick with my Collal and just pop those panels in. And then I've just got a sentiment to go across the front. If you've bought into that mystery pack, you've got so many sentiments in there that would work on these panel dies. So again, I'm going to pop that one in here, just line that one up and give that a press. And these are just from one of our previous collections, from little wildflower collections here that I, again, keep at the side of my desk. Great embellishments. The butterfly often makes an appearance. This is an old, if any of you that's been with us a while will remember our little diamond press, which was the original hand-turned machine. The little butterfly was a die that came with that originally. And you know, there's this one and a larger one. And again, they don't even go in a box. They just sit on the shelf at the side of me because it's the perfect size for just a little embellishment when you want that bit of something to just fill a gap. So yeah, it gets used constantly. Right, what did I do? It's there. I can say, what did I do with my panel? And it's hiding. So again, I've just put myself a little note on the back of there, well, a little line, because I don't need glue all the way up to the top. So again, because I'd done this previously, you can just see my little pencil line there, yeah? Because this part's going to stick up above.
Yeah, so you don't want glue on it.
Yeah, so I don't need to put glue on the top. And because I prepped them in advance, it's like, Jan's brain's like, been there, done that. And I'll be like, whoa, stick it the wrong way up. Normally, it wouldn't matter if I hadn't have cut the little square out of the back of it, but I didn't want any of that showing here at the back.
Yeah.
So that's why I actually cut it in the bottom section there. So that's going to be my card. Then we're going to have a go. Now again, because I'm sticking onto ink, I'm going to swap from my all-purpose glue to my PVA, my tacky glue, which is what we decant into the little...
Why would you do that? Because it might react with the ink?
Just I'll get a better bond because it's onto ink rather than on a cardstock. If I was sticking straight onto the cardstock, I would have stayed with my Collal or using your tape pens. I do tend to use a lot more wet glue. But again, the tacky glue sticks to most things. I don't think I've found much yet that it doesn't work with. Whether it's wood, you know, MDF, whether it's plastic, you can stick sort of fabric and woolen items on with it. It's a brilliant glue for sticking anything other than card and paper.
Do you know what? I would say until about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, I was what I call a dry adhesive person. Always red liner tape, finger lift tape or tissue tape, whatever, on everything.
Yeah.
But something's changed in those last couple of years, and I do use wet glue a lot more. I think it's a lot more forgiving.
It is more forgiving. I think it's longer lasting as well. The dry tapes, it depends what you're making and what it's for. If you've got something like a piece of home decor that you want longevity out of, sometimes the dry tapes can dry out, especially if you've got them in your home where there's central heating and things like that. And the last thing you want is for things to start falling apart. So yeah, I must admit I am a big lover of red light tape, which you guys know I tend to overuse it rather than not do. But as I say, the wet glue just gives you that really strong finish depending on what you're wanting to use it for. The only thing that I wouldn't really use my tacky glue for is matting and layering, funnily enough. Certainly with the papers, this is actually a water-based glue, and if it seeps into the paper, if you've ever had that where you've matted and layered and you get that ruttling along the edge, and you put it through your Gemini, you stand it under your Gemini, you sit on it, whatever, and it does not flatten. It's because the water seeped into the paper. So yeah, the PVA one is not the best one for matting and layering. So it's about, you know, if you have a look back on our channel, we've done, I think all of us have done glue school in the past, just explaining which are the best glues for things. So I've got another one of those little butterflies to echo this one, and then I just die cut a sentiment, and I thought that was perfect because that colour did make me smile without a doubt. So again, I'm just going to, you know, you can use your double-sided tape on the back of here. I was watching a lady the other day on one of the YouTube channels, and I thought, you know, I've never thought of that because I use the big A4 sheets of double-sided tape. you know, the double-sided adhesive, and then I cut my die cut things out of it. And she actually just took her ordinary roll tape, her paper tape, and she'd just got a small piece of card that she wanted to cut something like this out of, and all she did was just put rows of her double-sided tape on the back of it.
Oh, yeah.
And then die cut it and then peeled the backing off it. And I thought, yeah, I never thought of doing that. So yes, I need to try that one next time. All right, and then we just want a little tiny bit behind there. I just popped a little bit in the middle so that we can get those wings to lift up once the glue's dry. Same as I did, this one's actually got the wings loose. So, you know, once you've actually got that ready, you can lift those little wings up a little bit. We'll let that one dry. But you can just see, if we move all those bits out of the way, and the turquoise and craft card is one of my favourite combinations there. So you can just see that embossing folder doing all the work. You don't need much else going on there. Just the sentiment in the centre. It would look lovely with a little photograph in the centre. If you're wanting to send out photos of grandchildren, things like that, it would be great. And as I say, I think it'd make a nice frame for a scrapbook with the photos in as well.
Absolutely gorgeous, and like you say, all of that dimension with your embossing folder really makes it pop, doesn't it? So if you wanted that today, that deal is £19.18 or $26.31 if you're platinum. You're effectively paying for 2 of the folders and your cherry Centura pearl, and we'll give you the 3rd folder for free. So absolutely perfect. Now, the next thing I want to show you is our heat resist acetate. So this comes in packs of 12 sheets, and you're going to get 3 packs, so 36 sheets in total. And your price today is £7.98 or $11.98. So it's effectively, you're paying for 2 and you're getting your 3rd for free. Look at that, your platinum price, £6.38 or $9.58. So you're paying just over £2 a pack or just over $3 a pack, which is amazing. Now, heat resist acetate, they're A4 sheets. So what this means is, this means that if you want to stamp onto it, heat emboss or add your glitters or whatever, the acetate isn't going to shrink or warp or buckle. Now, if you do it with regular acetate, you might find your acetate shrinks, you know, turns into a bit like shrink plastic, which is not what you want. So get yourself your heat resist acetate, and that's going to be what you need. You can still use it for all your shaker cards. We're going to have a look at those outline florals. If you want to stick those onto acetate, all of that, those will work as well. So yeah, really useful. Now, we've got lots of comments come in since the last time we had a look. Sandra Dundas. Well done, Sandra. I have shocked myself and got them all. There we go. Brenda got 3. Oh, Lorraine, she said I only got 2. Doesn't matter. Lois says it's a fun game today. And Zoe Carver, much prefer the game this week. Mind you, doesn't mean I'll know all the answers. It's a taking part. There we go. Colleen says, beautiful card designs with this embossing folder. Corrine says, I absolutely love when Jan is on. She has such great makes, ideas, hints and tips. Would love to see her on the shows more often. There you go. You're not allowed to be part-time anymore, Jan.
I know, everybody says that. Everybody wants me here more often, but yeah, because I'm only part-time, it does only work out roughly once a week.
Yeah.
So,
but we were saying a couple of weeks, you're on twice, aren't you?
it's weird how it works, yeah. You know, you tend to think, you know, that it would be once a week, but yeah, I'm not here next week because I'm down with our partners in at Hobby Maker. But then the following week, you've got me twice. You've got me twice the following week. Yes. Excellent.
And Colleen loves your shirt, Jan. Beautiful design on it. Could be a nice die-and stamp from Crafter's Companion. There we go. Next time Leanne's asking for designs, we shall send in Jan's shirt. Linda says, I love using the shimmer ink pads. Suzanne says, all of you demonstrators are fantastic, but I think because Jan used to be a teacher, she just explains everything perfectly. Sonia loves watching Jan's demonstrations. And Shadiah says, another stunning card, was so mesmerised at the consistency and neatness throughout the demo. Thank you, Nana Jan. You also teach us to be a tidy crafter. Yeah, don't expect tidy crafting from me. You always get tidy crafting from our Jan.
You should see me at home, guys.
All right.
So pity it doesn't extend to the home bit.
Okay. Quick question for you, Jan. Hannah Gosling-Smith says, a question about multimedia dies, please. As they are thicker, will they damage your plates? Is it just a normal sandwich? Her nesting dies have just arrived, but she doesn't want to ruin her plates.
Right, with a multimedia die, you have to think about the fact that yes, they are thicker. So a little bit like we've just talked about with the 3D embossing folders. We can't change the pressure if you're using a Gemini. The pressure's static, it is what it is. Some of them seem to be a bit more keen than others. So it's a case of changing the plates. Now, if you refer back to your instruction books that came with your Geminis, if you still got them handy, the details should be in there for multimedia. But basically, if I just go through them quickly here for you, you've got your selection of plates, including the metal shim as well. Let me just grab one of, I don't think I've got a small metal one handy actually, but basically what we're going to do with the multimedia is when I did my 3D embossing folder, I used these three. We took away that top plate because we wanted to amend the thickness. Now with a multimedia die, I'm actually going to take away the magnetic shim. And I would actually have my multimedia die cutting against the plate. I would have my plastic shim in as a shim. So the idea of the shims is it builds up the plate thickness, and then your clear plate on top. Now, if you wish to add your metal shim, it goes over the bottom. Now, what I always do is try first, because if you've got a machine that's a little bit keen and it's got lots of pressure, just can't wait to get out, then sometimes you don't need the metal shim. So try it first. The other side of it is, but by using the metal shim, it does protect your base plate a little bit more. You will get an impression in that metal shim for sure, all right? So don't be surprised when you bring it out that there is, for example, if you've cut a nice big heart, there is an impression of that in the metal. That's the job of it. That's what it's doing. It's absorbing the pressure that's in the machines. A lot of people are like, oh, it's cut into my shim or it's cut into my plate. That's the job. That's what these are here for. And you can see ours are well loved. You know, both my plates are all scored. You know, they've got all the lines on them. And that's the job of them, and that's why they're a consumable. But yeah, basically, this one, your plastic shim, this one, your die with your fabric or whatever you're cutting, your medium. Plastic one to build up the depth, and then your clear one on top.
Perfect. Right,
Okay.
I've got one more question before we go through, because I don't want to miss them. Sandra says, you know, we were just talking about the heat resist acetate. Sandra actually says, which is the best type of acetate to use for stained glass effect with alcohol markers?
I use, nearly all the acetate I use is our A5 packs. Yeah. I don't have much other than that. Even the heat resistant acetate I don't buy. Again, it serves a purpose if you like heat embossing and doing heat techniques on it, but I tend to use the A5 packs of heavyweight acetate. It works for construction. It works, you'll see later on if you're joining us in the later shows, I love the cards where you take the middle out and you put the acetate in the middle of them. We've got one of those later on. It works for using your alcohol markers on. You can heat onto it as long as you're very quick with it. The secret with that is to heat up your heat tool first. Make sure it's at maximum heat, and then you literally just have to glide across it. But the heat resistant acetate will actually do a better job. It doesn't wrinkle if you're heat embossing. So yeah, that's my own personal opinion. There are lots of acetates out there on the market, but I like a good, strong, sturdy one.
think I would
and
totally
it also
agree with
comes
you.
with the protective film on it, so you know when you actually use it, you know that acetate's going to be pristine.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, if I would have answered, I would have said use your heavyweights.
Yeah.
It just works, doesn't it? There we go. Okay, so we're going to have a go at the second round of the game, because you are all loving this. I just think we're all just going, whew, yes, we can do this. So, are we ready? It is 4-all, is it? Is that right?
It is, yeah.
4-all. Oh, we're going to have all to play for. So we've got another 5 rounds to go, and we shall see if there's any here that one of us knows more than the other. Let's have a look. Oh dear. There we go. This has suddenly changed. Ooh. I'm going random. Oh, I do not know, so I'm going to have a very random guess. Yeah.
I have, but I think it's way too old.
I don't know what it is. I'm guessing. I'm proper guessing here.
Yeah,
Have you got an answer?
I think it's a Christmas
I'm
one.
saying Gnome's Christmas.
I've put Enchanted Forest.
Oh, you see, didn't know that at
The reindeer.
all.
You see, that was another one that I didn't have. I'm
No.
struggling with the ones that I haven't had.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, good guess. Good guess. Okay. I know this one. I know this
Now
one.
then.
I know this one. It's got a bridge and it's got, you know this one, don't you, Jan?
Well, I've put the obvious, but I think they appear in another. Don't collection. Oh no, it's not. I know what it is. It is. Oh, hang on. What's it called?
I'm going.
I don't think this is right. I don't think it is the obvious one.
Oh, everyone's saying.
The
how do you know?
obvious.
She can mind read, can our Lily?
No.
Right, I'm going Enchanted Dreams. It's not Enchanted Dreams.
No.
Oh, Liam's not in Enchanted Dreams.
I put Wisteria, and it's not that either. It's no.
There's
It's
good
not
dancing dragonflies. Come on then, Charlotte, put us out of our. Once upon a time, that's what I
Do you see?
wanted.
Do you know? I'm putting a complaint in because these are all the paper pads I haven't got.
I knew it was once
It's
upon
like,
a time. I
rub
just
it in your
completely got
face,
the
Jan.
name wrong.
Look
It's
at
got
all
a
these
bridge.
pretty papers
It's got a bridge. Oh,
from collections you don't have.
this is a harder round than the last one.
I don't think this is right either, but it's a guess.
No, I've no idea. No idea. I'm going to go something Christmas. Oh, what do I know from Christmas? Oh,
No, because technically, if it's paper pads, that's
says paper
cheating
pads.
a
We're
little
saying,
bit, isn't
could it
it?
be a
That's why I
box?
moved over from Swan Lake. Oh. If it's a paper pad.
you see, I never even thought of Swan Lake for that last one.
Oh, that was my obvious choice.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, but then I thought, paper pads. It should be in a pad form. Yeah, I don't think this one's right either.
I don't even know if there was one. It was Lily doesn't think it's Christmas. I'm gonna. There was. I've put. Are you ready, Jan?
I am, yeah.
I put the one that's got snowman in the title.
Vintage snowman.
Vintage snowman, then. Yeah.
I put Frosty and Bright.
Oh, I didn't think of Frosty and Bright. Birthday celebrations. That's a box. Didn't know that one.
Who did this? Who did this? Oh,
You see,
she
it
was.
said Have we got any right this round?
No, she was lulling us in that first round, wasn't she?
Oh, Nicola.
Oh.
Where are we at? Was that 3 or 4? I feel like it's
See,
been
I
a long
haven't got
round.
that one either. Oh, none of these in this second round I've actually got the pads for. I haven't worked with them.
Haven't you? Ah. Oh, it could be one of 2, couldn't it?
Oh, now then. Yeah, it could be one of 2. I don't think it is that one.
I don't think I've got it right, but I put an answer. Are you
on.
there, Jan? She's not quite there.
I've just changed mine.
I thought you were writing an essay.
No, I started straight away thinking, no, it's that, and then I thought, no, I'm still not sure. I don't know whether this is right either. I don't think it's this one either.
I'm going Dancing Dragonfly.
Oh,
Yeah. Do you
you're
like
kidding
the
me! Oh,
No,
that's what I
Nicola.
wrote. That's what I wrote.
Was that what
That's-
you went first?
That's what I wrote, Delightful Daisy, and I thought, no, the daisies are not big enough. There's dragonflies in there.
Oh,
They look so different when you zoom back out, don't they?
yeah. Well, we've got lots of comments. Anne Clark saying, nope. Beth Ross Lucas saying, that got me stumped. And going, I give up, I suck at this. No, you don't. This is hard. Look, we're the demonstrators and we've not got any right in this round.
Yeah.
Nicola's homing in on those little bits and really making us work for this.
So,
last one, because it's
have we got one more?
Oh. It is a paper pad. And it's come out this year.
It's purple.
You don't think it came out this year? Nearly this year. Oh.
I'm not confident.
Oh, no, I don't know then. I can't even think of a name.
I've written something down, but I'm not confident with it at all.
I might... Is it...
I can't believe I changed that last one. That's like kicking myself now.
I might have been completely wrong. I've gone spring fever.
I put wisteria.
Oh, there you go, you picked me,
Right
Jan.
at the last minute.
Right at the
Oh my
last
goodness.
minute.
Redeem myself.
Wow.
That was hard.
That was hard. Nicola,
Yeah.
that was a hard round.
It was.
Absolutely. Well, there you go. So, Jan on YouTube won that. Congratulations, Jan. So, our Rachel is going to go through people that have commented. Doesn't mean you have to get them all right or anything like that. As long as you've been commenting on YouTube, then she'll pick 5 names. I'll read them out in a bit, and then we'll give you the address on the bottom of the screen, and then you can email in, and we'll get your voucher out to you. Probably be about Tuesday now, because I think it's once the office is open. So we all need a deep breath. So let's have a look at our little BT. I think this is Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
If you love Crafters TV, we've made it easy for you to watch us wherever you are. Whether you catch us on your tablets or take us with you on your mobile phone, it's easy to watch us anywhere. From here to here. Maybe don't watch us here. It would be easy to watch us here. Probably the easiest place to watch us is here. Crafters TV, with you wherever you are.
We get to know people from places and walks of life that we wouldn't come across in our everyday life if it wasn't for Crafters TV and doing what we do.
I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a lovely feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in. You know, we see the same people. We know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased. And I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made.
We talk about customers, but really they go in as a customer, come out as a friend. The support that I get is amazing. The messages I get are amazing.
Me personally, it is personal interaction. I've never had the best of health. I've always been open about that with our viewers at Crafters TV. So many people are in the same situation as me health-wise. Other people have got a completely different health issues. They understand and they relate to what I'm going through, what others are going through. So whether we interact on a crafting basis or whether we interact on a health basis, a personal basis, we're all there to support one another. It is incredible.
The reaction of viewers when they come to meet us is worth all of the early mornings when we have to get up for our early morning shows.
Some of the customers come on as craft ambassadors and things like that, craft along with us, and being able to actually chat with them on air. I love it. I really love that connection with them.
We've had lots of shows where we've done like craft alongs, especially where we've had viewers craft along with us. We had a particular viewer, Joy, who joined us once before, and she literally made me cry on air, and Joe, because the things she said about us, it really was quite humbling that there are people out there that watch us and invite us into their living rooms and really treat us like family.
There you go. Have you recovered? Have you recovered? I hope you have. Lots of you are getting some right. Hannah got 2 right. Linda said 3 of 5 for a grand total of 8 right. Well, Linda, that's impressive. So just quickly, if we've got time to do that, we'll say the winners from YouTube are Michelle Harris, Deborah Widowson, Daniel Pearce-Holland, Skimmy, and Diana Jeffers. So all of you have been selected at random and the details are down here. So if you do those, so prizes at crafterscompanion.com, if you email in there, we will send your names to the office, and when they've got the email from you at that address, they will be able to send you out your prize. So congratulations to you 5. Michelle Harris, Deborah Widowson, Daniel Pearce-Holland, Skimmy and Diana Jeffers. So yes, absolutely perfect. Now, the next thing I wanted to show you is this goodie bag. Now, this is immense. So, have you ever thought of buying a pack of your tri-blend alcohol pens? Because $79.99 is our usual price for our tri-blend alcohol pens. Gosh, can't get those words out. So $79.99 or $119.99. That is brilliant. Platinum price, $63.99. Or $95.99. Now this is what you would expect to be spending for your pens. Look at these colours. Where they gone? There they go. There they go. There's the colours. So your 24 pens, 72 colours in each. Because remember, each pen has your 3 colours. You've got your light, your mid, and your dark. Absolutely brilliant. And I know a lot of you have bought them at that price. But today, we're also going to give you all of these extras. So it's bringing the value of what you buy to £160 or $225. And everything in here has been selected with the tri-blend brush pens in mind. So from our Natural Beauty, you've got your Tumbling Waves and Flowers stamp. You've then also got your Effortless Chic. So you've got your pens, and then you're going to be able to do all this gorgeous colouring with that. You have got your Dream More, Work Harder stamp, and your Good Things Take Time. You've got this gorgeous, oh, I've not got this one, Season's Greetings, which is a beautiful stamp wreath. I'm actually going to turn, that is a lovely one. Let me just turn you around. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? You can see it coloured in there, but just that shows you how big it is. Yeah, Lily's not got that one either, so yeah. Oh, I can see some more Natural Beauty ones in here. You've got your Luscious Locks. So beautiful. I have hair envy every time I see these stamps. Absolutely. I might have long hair, but I'd love to be able to do some of these styles. A Little Surprise. I've still got that one coloured on my windowsill in my craft room. He's lovely. From the Masquerade Ball, you have got Shall We Dance? So again, you're going to be able to go there. Oh yeah, it will work well with your Weekend Wonder, won't it, Lily? Good call there. Oh, the other one from your Natural Beauty, Ethereal Beauty. She is so pretty. Again, lovely hair. Then from your Bohemian, so these aren't old. You have got your Enchanting Floral Feather. Oh, now, that one, that one demo of the week. There you go. Look at that our Sarah did. So if you want to be creating something like that, then you need that. So that was on the 4th of May, that was. Oh, we'll be doing demo of the month tomorrow, won't we? Bell Countryside, Lumieres and Lanterns. So you're going to get that one. It doesn't finish yet. From our 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, you're going to get your Stockings by the Fire. They put the names in different places on each one, don't they? And this only launched a couple of weeks ago with the other ink pads. Magnificent Butterflies as well. Wow. And you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, blimey, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 stamp sets. 30. I think this has been when Sarah's been on. This feels like a leftover Sarah. They're
Actually
all
paying
free.
for the pens.
13.
That is amazing.
It really is. And you're going to pay £63.99 or $95.99. If you're platinum, you've saved just shy of £100, or in dollars, you've knocked off $130.
That's just
wow.
Stunning, isn't it?
An amazing deal. If you've ever thought, and I have to tell you, if you see me, I will always go to my tri-blend brushes first. Absolutely my favourite, without a doubt. I know everybody has their favourites. I will always go to the brushes first where I can. So that is an absolutely amazing, amazing collection. Really going to love that. Didn't know what was in there till I started unboxing that. What a mystery. Don't know why we call them mystery bags. We should just call them goodie bags, but there you go. Wonderful, wonderful one. So yeah, have a think on if that is what you wanted today. Now, if you want to, so is that the bag you're going to be demonstrating
yes,
from? Right, wow.
It is.
So, Arjan is going to show you what you could be doing if you bought that.
So just one of the stamps we're going to use out of there, and I chose that Effortless Chic. I love these stamps, and they're great for practicing your colouring. Any of you that have done the Academy of Colour with Leanne, if you want something to practice with for sort of hair and skin tones, these are lovely. They really are. And then as Corrine was just saying, you know, the tri-blends, I'm just going to bring in, you've seen me champion these. These are my choice of alcohol markers. I've always got my tri-blend pens with me, purely because you've got that 3 blend of colour family. So I've just literally grabbed one off the shelf, because what we're bringing you today is like these supercharged. So if you like your tri-blend pens, the tri-blend brush markers, so to take it to the next level, they're the same idea. So you have 1 pen and you've got 3 colour tones from the same family. So for example, this is the tan blend, and I've got TN1, TN7 and TN8. So I know that they're all going to blend effortlessly, if I could say it, to give you that blend, okay? The difference between them, and I'll just take the nib off this one as well. The original tri-blends have got that bullet nib on. When you come to these, and I said they were supercharged, they have got that exquisite Japanese brush nib on them. And that just is a game changer. A, they give you more coverage. So if you've got a larger area to work with, it's quicker. B, the nib on here is so fine, and I'll show you when we start doing some colouring on here, that you can get into the tiniest little spaces, and all 3 of your pens have those beautiful brush nibs on. So you can see the whole set there. We've got the light shade, the mid-tone and the darker shade. All right, there are some shades in between, which some of you may have got covered with some of the other ranges. So you may have the illustrators, you may have the classiques, that kind of thing. But what we've done is we've chosen 3 of the sort of shades that work together. So I've actually got the Fair Skin blend to colour her skin in. I've got the tan blend for her hair, and I've got the Hydrangea blend. We're going to go purple with the dress. So first thing we need to do is actually stamp her out. So I've just popped some cardstock on my stamping platform. platform, and my chosen cardstock for alcohol colouring is the Nina cardstock. And then I've gone for, you all, again, any of you that know me know that Flagstone's my go-to ink, but I have made sure that it's my alcohol-proof dye ink. It's got my alcohol pen on there because I don't want that line art to shift when I start using an alcohol marker to colour with. So it's really important that you get the right stamping ink to go with your colouring medium. If you're not sure, the easiest way to do it is to heat emboss your outline. If you heat emboss, then it doesn't matter what colouring medium you use in it. But you can see here that she's a good size stamp. My piece of cardstock here is approximately A6. So you can see there we've got a good size on that. So I'm going to pop her down onto the piece of cardstock and we'll stamp her out. And I'm just going to do a little bit of colouring. I've actually got her coloured in because it's one of those things that does take a little while, and it's one of those things that, you know, I mean, I love colouring. It's sort of really quite an enjoyable activity, but it does take a while. If you want to do, you know, a good job, build up your layers, it takes a little while. So when we're demoing, we tend to have them done ready. So good coverage. I tend to sort of swipe it over my stamp, but then always the tapping. The tapping's what activates that ink pad and allows that ink to transfer onto your stamp. And then we're going to position that one in the base and give it a nice, good, firm press down. Transfer that ink onto that Nina cardstock, and then we're good to go. Really nice image, absolutely gorgeous, and you've got all that beautiful sort of waves of hair. You've got the skin tones to practice there. So I'm going to take that out of the stamp platform. I'm going to grab my piece of scrap card again just to rest on. Whenever I'm alcohol colouring, I always have something underneath. As you know, the alcohol will bleed through the cardstock, and if you saturate it too heavily and the alcohol ink hits something that's non-porous, it's got nowhere to go other than soak back into your card, and that's where you get a lot of the bleeding of the outline because there's just simply too much ink. This acts like a blotter, so if any of the ink does go through, I often use watercolour card for that reason, but any card will do underneath it, or you know, anything. It doesn't have to be a cardstock as such. So I'm going to take a little bit of the fair skin one. And again, using that brush nib, and you can see what I mean here about that point getting into the smallest of spaces. So I'm going to saturate that area first of all with the lightest tone. And I'm just going to do it a half at a time rather than doing too much area at once, because what I don't want to happen is the alcohol start to evaporate before I've had a chance to work with it. So I'm just going to go over that area, and I usually do a couple of layers of the base colour so that you've really saturated the card. And then we're going to bring in some of the other shades. So I'm going to go right to the opposite end, which is your darker shade. And where I think there's going to be a shadow, so where her hair is here, it's going to create a little bit of a shadow on her back, and possibly where the strap of her dress is here. And then I'm going to come back through my colours. So I'm going to go to the mid-tone and just nudge. I'm not going over the dark shade, I'm just nudging the line. And what happens is the alcohol starts to bleed into the darker colour, and it takes away that harsh edge of that line. And then I'm going to come back down the colours again to the lightest tone, and I'm going to do the same again, but I'm just nudging that mid-tone this time. I'm going nowhere near the dark one, because if you go over the darker shades with a lighter one, it then starts bleaching them out. So you just want to bring and then leave it. You think, well, it doesn't quite look like I want it to, but leave it at that point because you need the alcohol to evaporate, and then you can assess it. So again, we'll just do that other side, and then I'm going to do a bit of a hair as well to just show you that technique, which is slightly different with the hair. And again, I always say, you know, colouring's quite a personal journey. It's like if you're just starting out and you want to just do one shade, that is absolutely fine. If you're a little bit further on your journey and you want to start trying the blending, then this is a great one, as I say, for trying. So again, I'm just going to do a little tiny bit, not too much at this side, because I'm going to look at it as if the light's coming from this side. Same process, that mid-tone, just to nudge the edge of that darker one so that they start and blend together. And then back to the light one. And again, I'm just nudging into that mid-tone. And then I'm just going to leave that and come back to it. Sometimes I'll go in with the darker one again, but we'll come back to it. I do the same for her arms. There's a little bit of her elbow here and then her other arm. But I'm going to jump over to the tan blend now for the hair. And again, there are lots of videos on colouring. You know, this is not a colouring show. We've done lots of Colour Me Happy shows. I know a lot of you have followed Leanne with the Academy of Colour. But basically with the hair, and this is how I do it. There are lots of different ways to do it. This is how I like to do it. And again, it's a bit of a section at a time. So I'm going to take the lightest tone. And again, the area that I want to work in, I'm going to flood that area with that light tone. So just really sort of get some ink down so that it's not wet as such, but it's giving you space to work with. Then I'm going to come to my mid-tone, and this is where the artwork moves. If you've got the rotating design table from Tiffany, it's great for this. But the artwork moves more rather than my hand, because what I want to do is create like a flicking technique. And I find it easier to do that from the source here than try and come back this way. So try it out and see which you prefer, whether you want to flick up or flick down. I prefer the flick up. So I start at the top here, and I'm just going to bring this into those areas and then turn the artwork, and I'm going to do the same up from the bottom. And then again, you notice Jan can't put them back together without having everything lined up. OCD insists that they have to be lined up. I can't stand it when I look at them and they're all mismatched. Oh, it plays with my head. And then the dark one, I'm going to do the same technique, but I'm not going to come quite as far down. And again, turn it round so that I'm not doing that funny angle with my hand, and up from the bottom. And then let that dry for a second. I'll just do a little bit more.
Reflecting, can't you?
It's about creating that sort of illusion that your image is not flat. And again, as I say, Leanne's done a lot of work on this. I mean, I learnt such a lot of my techniques from Leanne, I must admit, in the early days. So again, you're sort of leaving, Leanne calls it preserving a highlight. She often leaves a white space and then goes back at the end. I actually like the lighter colour to be my sort of highlighted area. But again, just flicking, and then with that darker shade, same again, but not quite as far down. So you've got some of those three shades of colour showing underneath each other.
So it's not about blending them out, it's having that distinct colour.
It is, but then once some of that alcohol's evaporated, I tend to go back in with my light one and just literally join it together. And what that does, it just softens the edges of that sort of, those flicks that you've done. Just softens it that little bit. And if I bring the one in that I've done at home, that's exactly, you can see there, the technique that I've done. So you can see where this is starting. I've done the same on here. And on the picture, she's actually, I like this, because on the picture, it looks as if she's got a ribbon tied in her hair, which is a nice alternative. I've actually done it as if it was all her hair that was tied up. So again, whichever way you prefer, you can go for either of those. And I love that this has been tied in with the dress colour. So you can imagine if she was a bridesmaid or something like that, it'd be gorgeous to do it in the same colours, you know, as the wedding. But I actually chose to do it as her hair, and then she's just got a little tiny spray in the back of her hair. And then I've used the hydrangea one to colour her dress in, okay? And then just to make that into a project, as I say, I think these are lovely for any kind of special occasion. So whether it be a wedding or an anniversary or an engagement, anything like that, I think they are lovely. So I've actually got my card blank, and I've gone big on this one. So we've gone 7 3/4 squared, and I've made it out of my Centura pearl there. So this is the hint of silver. So I always go for the silver with the cool tones, and I go with my hint of gold if I'm using more of a warm tone colour. So I've made my card blank. I've actually cut this out of a piece of A3, So it's the full length, and scored it to make my 7 3/4. And then I was going through my paper. Now name that paper pad. Shall we have another game?
No, I don't know that one.
This is an old one. It really is. And I was looking for something that, because I'd coloured her in. Normally, I would choose the paper and then do the colour. But on this occasion, I was that engrossed in my colouring that I coloured away. I thought, now I need to find some paper that matches her.
Do you know what I always say to people? Find your papers first.
Yes, and then
always.
colour. And I actually didn't follow my own rules. So I was like, right, which paper? So I actually went through it all. And see if you know in the comments. So
I don't know.
Which paper pad. I don't know. It was well before your time with us, Corrine.
Yeah,
but
Rachel,
I know you
let
used
us know
to
if
use some
anybody
of our
knows
products.
that paper pad.
Probably well before Lily's time as well. So I'm challenging you there. I bet there's some people in the comments that know which one it is. This is actually quite iconic to the collection. Right. So I'm just going to use my, and again you can see I've taken the middle out. Can we scan out a little bit, Charlotte? Thank you, my lovely. That's it. She was inspecting my colouring, weren't you? So yeah, I've taken the centre off there just to use it for other things. It's like I often do that with my cardstock. And again, because I'm going onto my Centura Pearl and it's a slightly sort of smooth, shiny surface, I'm going to go with the tape pen this time. You can use your Collal, but one of the things it doesn't like is shiny surfaces. So again, I'm just going to go nice and slowly with my double-sided tape pen, and we're literally going to pop this on top. Okay.
Ooh. Do you want me to say?
Have we got some ideas?
The same answer from Lillian and Sandra.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It is a very old one. That's the only clue.
Would it be Parisian?
It sure is.
There we go.
Sure
well done, Lillian. Well done, Sandra.
Yeah,
You've
well
got that
done.
right.
It is. As I say, this was quite iconic. Yeah, it was a really nice paper pad. It's got some lovely pastel. Lily, you'd love it. Yeah, it's got some beautiful pastel colours in it, and I still have a lot of my old paper pads. So
when you said you went through, you were just saying I went through all my paper pads. The thought that went through my mind was, I wonder how long that took her to do.
You're joking. There was a comment on Crafters TV. I'm sure the girls on social had done it the other day. Was something about if you stacked your papers up, how tall would it be?
Yeah.
I could probably climb on the roof.
Could you?
Let's just leave it there. Yeah, I could probably get up onto the roof. I've got a thing about paper.
Have you?
I've got a thing. I have got so many paper. But my husband goes mad if we happen to be out anywhere, and I'm like, oh, I just need that. You don't need any more paper. I said, I know, but look how pretty it is. Yeah. So all I've done then, and I'm going to keep it reasonably flat on this one. I've just got one element that's raised, which is my sentiment. So I've actually used some of my older nesting dies here and one of the new textured embossing folders just to create my background that we're actually going to pop this one on here. And what I've done is I've just trimmed the bottom slightly because I wanted it to have a straight edge, and we're going to pop this together so that she's here in the corner, and then I've just made a piece so that it doesn't look as if she's floating in midair. Yes. It's actually going to go across here. So this is just a piece of Centura Pearl with some seam binding tape across there. So let's get that one stuck down first so we can go back to the Collal on this layer. And this is why there's so many different glues out there. I'm forever swapping backwards and forwards with my glues, depending on what I want them to do.
One of the questions we often get is, which glue do I need to get?
Yep.
I know it sounds, silly. All of them, because every glue
They've all got
has
their
a
own
different
purpose. Yeah.
Whether it's Collal, whether it's your tacky, whether it's your finger lift tape, your red liner tape, your tape pen, your dotty tape pen, all of them, they all have, they're used, as do the foam pads. It's a completely different one.
Now I'm going to swap again because I'm going on to the Centura, which has got that lovely pearl finish on it. I'm going to swap over again. Now, I'm saying that. I've already look at this. I'm more organised than I thought. I've actually got my red line tape on here.
Rosalind has some of that paper left. She says it is used sparingly.
Yes, I must admit I was a bit like that. It was so pretty and such a gorgeous colour palette that, yes, it only comes out on certain occasions. But I just felt that she actually deserved some nice paper. See that she looks so nice in her dress and everything. So she's going to stick down on there. And then I've just put some red line tape on the back of this one. And this is cut to just fit just to cover that up at the bottom, and it just goes from one side.
Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it just, yeah.
To the other. Yep.
Looks beautiful.
And then we commit to that one. So let's get rid. Oh, now Lily's asking, is the seam binding from the wisteria? Not quite. Good guess. There was another one that had seam binding in. That's the one.
Dancing
It
Dragonflies.
was from Dancing Dragonflies.
Oh, Lily's been sorting out a ribbon. Just a ribbon, nothing. You're going to have to sort it, Lily. You're moving house in a few months. One thing at a time. Ribbons first. It's going to be a long job, Lily.
I've actually got a set of those coloured drawers. I think there's 8 drawers, rainbow colours, and I have all my embellishments in there. So anything like ribbon, buttons, anything that would come under an embellishment are all colour coord, and you know, it just pleases me immensely.
Oh, so
really
in the
does.
pink drawers, all your pink embellishments?
Pink ribbons, pink flowers, pink gems. Honestly, you'd love it, Lily. Yeah. Yep. Now then. Birthday wishes on there, and then I'm in love with this one at the minute. This is actually this die is from our recently launched wildflower collection.
Oh yes.
And I just love the shape of it, absolutely. So these were just some scraps. The lilac is what came out of the centre. You saw that I'd taken that piece out, always used for other things. I've cut this shape out of it as well, rather than cutting into a second piece. And again, all I'm going to do is take the backs off here. I've put just the little foam pads, and we're going to pop a couple. I'm going to put one of those and the dark one on the bottom there, and then I'm just going to offset that. Okay, and just pop that one up at the top to offset there. So again, you know, if you imagine this was somebody's engagement, or it could be an 18th birthday card, it could be a prom card, and then I haven't done it on the other cards, but you know that I like to go on the inside as well. And especially if you've got some weight on the front, it sort of balances it out. So again, all I've done here is a piece to go. I've chosen a sentiment, little scraps of card, and this is just going to stick on that inside. So it gives you something to look at inside the card, but it also helps with the stability. So if you've ever had instances where your cards are top heavy and they fall forwards when you stand them up, just pop in that extra layer. And you can see that this is actually a bit of my Centura that was left over, but I've actually used the reverse of it because that's the sort of plain side to stamp on. And I'm just going to pop that inside, and you've got your space to write your message
Beautiful.
there. So
Inking
again,
around the edge looks like you've matte and layered it.
yeah,
Absolutely
just that little bit of
gorgeous.
ink. That's our crushed velvet ink around there. And again, if I stand you that one up, you can see there.
Right, Marcia already says, that is beautiful, Jan. Absolutely gorgeous. So, so pretty. Lillian Kwok says, crikey, Jan, I don't have enough embellishments to fill one drawer.
Oh.
You will, you will, you will.
I have been doing this a very long time. I've been crafting for a good 20 years. And this is my 7th year, I think, with Crafters Companion. It's just flown by.
I know, it really does, doesn't
As a lot of you know, the first couple of years were at the store. But yeah, I think this is my 7th year now. Scary how quickly time flies.
So loads and loads of comments coming in about the deal. The deal up there, the Tri-Blend collection. It says, Melanie says, amazing deal. Pamela says, wow, great goodie bag. Tammy Rupert says, the Tri-Blend and the Tri-Colours are both my favourites. Daniel says, these stamps are huge. Sandra Dundas says, I just love the brush nibs. Always seem to get better results with them. Linda Armstead says, I love using the brush markers, but she needs her pens lined up too. Daniel says that looks amazing. There we go. So that's all the comments. So let me just remind you quickly, if Jan hasn't convinced you already, for the price of the Tri-Blend pens, and that is the genuine price, that is the price that you will see day in, day out, $79.99 or $119. You're paying for the pens. But don't forget, you've got your platinum price right down the bottom here, $63.99 or $95.99. But we're going to give you, we counted 13, didn't we? Let me just go through here. There we go. You're going to be, I'm just going to go through them quite quickly. 1, the one Jan's just used. 2, your lovely sentiment stamps. 3, 4, gorgeous wreath, 5, some more of those Natural Beauty, your cat, your masquerade ball, Natural Beauty, this gorgeous
I can't believe that one's in there. That
I know.
literally launched a couple of weeks ago,
And there's another
didn't
one
it?
as well. You've got Belle Countryside, you've got Night for Christmas, and this.
And that
this
one as
only launched with the
duets.
Duet stamp.
A couple of weeks
ink pads.
ago, yeah.
Yeah, and it's in here. When Sarah tells us about them, it's because there's not enough to do a whole show.
Yes.
So we were able to make up these goodie bags. So if you want all those stamps, all of the, I don't even know how many stamps there are, I couldn't count it up, but there is lots and lots of stamps there. For the price of the pens, we're going to give you those stamps for free. If you are beginning on your journey, midway on your journey, or you've been, like Jan and myself, crafting for a long time, this is just going to enhance what you've got. If you think, okay, maybe I've got 1 or 2 of them, these are all free. Give them away. Give them as gifts. You know, sell them on. It's
Buy
entirely
them now
up to you.
and
Do a
save them
swap.
for Secret Santa at the end of the year.
Exactly. Absolutely perfect. $63.99, $95.99. Amazing value. So you need that today. So that is brilliant. I think that has to be one of my the best bags I've seen for quite a while. Oh, quick question. Jan, someone asked what ink could be used on glitter card. I was wondering that too. Heat embossing would probably harm the glitter finish. What ink would you use on glitter card? Would you need ink on glitter card?
To be honest, I don't think I've ever used ink on glitter card. I tend to use my glitter card more as a feature rather than a stamping card.
The only thing I would do to glitter card, you know when you've cut it, you get the white edge. If I needed to get rid of that white edge, I'd just use the chisel of a
any of the
classic.
inks, because you're onto open cardstock there, but I think on top of the glitter, I don't know, I've never stamped onto top of glitter.
No.
Yeah.
Terry Anderson, I'm not sure why you would be doing that, because we're not too sure, but there you go. So not sure why you'd want to do that, but you could just use your pens around the edges if you wanted to. Anyway, I want to just go back to the Weekend Wonder deal that we started off. Oh, sorry, we've got to start with the vote. Sorry, I couldn't hear her.
I don't like interrupting you, but I was just going to say then, can we do the vote first?
We can. I didn't hear it. Sorry,
I can see the clock ticking away. It's like we've not got very long left.
Right, we've got 3, have we?
There are 3, yes. Perfect. I planned 4, but obviously we've only got 3 done. So yeah, the first one was using that mystery stamp bag. Not the stamp bag. Yes, it was stamp. Sentiments and stamps at the beginning, yeah? So that was number 1, okay, with the TP card. Number 2 was using those beautiful embossing folders with the little accent nesting dies with them. So that was number 2. And then number 3, you've just seen me do the colouring with those beautiful tri-blend brushes and a stamp from that last mystery bag that Corrine just showed you through. So 1, 2 or 3.
That's going to be a difficult choice. Difficult choice indeed. Well, if you do that, you've not got very long on there, and our Rachel will add those up. Right. I will now go back to where I was. I'm sorry, Lily, I didn't hear you. We're going to start back and have another look at this Weekend Wonder. Now, for just shy of £60 worth of value, or $82 worth of value, you're going to get all of this today for your platinum price, £20 or $28. You're going to get these 9 die stamp sets. Stamp and die, actually. They're all got sentiment theme to them. So this is where, so you've got stamps, you've got dies, these are from our Say It With Flowers, you've got your chalkboard, you've got our tag stamps, you've got a Christmas one from Frosty and Bright, you've got lovely ones here that have got sentiments and outlines, you've got from that very first demo your masquerade ball that's got lots of sentiments and backgrounds, and I love these are from our fancy sentiments. You've got your thanks. What to say? Thanks very much. There we go. Lovely ones on those. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. So if you want that, then that is £20, $28. But don't forget, double points as well. Okay, we're going to have to wrap that up there because demo of the show goes to. Oh, Lily's saying 1 or 3. I can hear Charlotte saying 3. It is 3.
Number 3.
I think they love your colouring. There you go.
Fantastic.
So
Thank you very
is
much,
brilliant.
guys.
Thank you everyone for voting. Now we're going to shoot it off for a little break. It's only an hour, but we will be back at 2 p.m. and it's going to be our craft vault. So there are some amazing deals, and we'll also be able to recap on our Memorial Day Bank Holiday sale, which ends on Monday.
Colin, sorry, I hate interrupting you. I know there's clearly some sound issues at the minute. We've got first look at 2 p.m.
Oh, first look at 2 p.m. I'm so sorry. I can't hear them at all.
No, I figured that there was some issues going on there, yeah.
Yeah, right,
the guys are all screaming in my ear and I'm thinking, Corrine can't hear you. She's clearly not just ignoring you.
Right, okay, we'll scrap that. First look at 2 p.m. and we've got some sale deals on there. I know that one. First look, it's all about our floral decorative dies. I'm very sorry, I just couldn't hear them on that. It was obviously not working. So if you want to come back and have a look at that, they're launching later next week, but we'll do a first look at 2 p.m. And until then, hopefully I'll have my sound sorted. Goodbye.